Hello. This week's blog post is inspired by International Women's Day, which was yesterday here in Australia. And I got to thinking about the purpose of the International Women's Day and started reading articles on the news which really referenced a lot of the gender pay gap. And that reminded me of something I'd read a long time ago and that I have brought up a few times with my clients and had quite impactful conversations. And that was about beauty standards for women and the gender pay gap. So I hit my bookshelf and dug out this book, which I have not read for years, but side note, absolute must read, amazing book. And in this book, Jayne Crabbe references Naomi. And she says that a cultural fixation on female thinness is not an obsession about female beauty, but an obsession about female obedience. And this quote has gone around social media quite a lot, right? And Jayne Crabbe expands on Naomi Wolf's quote there by saying, "When I think back over the dieting years and the rare moments I managed to force my body into looking more like the ideal, I don't wish for that body back. I wish for that time back." Wow, like that's a light bulb for me, because personally at the moment time is my hottest commodity. So really, like what I'd like you to think about and start to explore is if you could calculate all those days, years, minutes, months that you have spent of your life thinking about calories and your negative things, your own self-talk about your own body image, all the diet rules that you've adhered to over the years, the stories that you've been told by billboards and magazines, and the way you've been made to feel about yourself in society, all those years and minutes and months that have been spent thinking about that. If you weren't thinking about those things, where would you be now? If that space in your brain had been freed up, what would your life look like now? Because that's hundreds of hours and years. So things potentially might be different. And then if we think, okay, well, not much we can really do about the past now, moving forward, if in the next 12 months I don't allow myself to think those thoughts, if I replace those thoughts with things that are going to be beneficial to my life, and that might still be focusing on things like getting a health in, what else could you free up space for? Where would you be this time next year if you spent the next 12 months with your brain space thinking about all the ways you could better yourself and become the best version of yourself, instead of thinking about how many calories were in that cookie and should you have eaten it or not, and how many burpees you have to do to burn it off. Yuck, 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 it's making me feel sick thinking about it. Let's start thinking, how can I be the best version of myself? What can I use my brain space for? What would I rather be thinking about than adhering to societal beauty norms? Let me know your thoughts.